If you're taking your dog to the beach, these are some of the best items that you can bring with you to make sure you are prepared to play on the beach, to stay in the hotel, etc. We talk about this a lot here on the channel. There's a full beach travel playlist, I'll link in the caption down below, where we talk about how to find the best hotels to stay at with your dog, how to pick the right beaches, how to travel to the beaches, product reviews for things that are going to help you out, and tips and tricks that we're not going to talk about in today's video. So you want to make sure you're checking those out as well. And one of the biggest things that I say that you should be taking for your dog anywhere, not just the beach, but anywhere you're going with your dog, is water wipes. These are specifically made for babies, but they're not only for babies. These are kind of like moist towelettes. They're just chemical-free little wipes that are moist. So you have the ability to clean off your dog and to help keep them safe while you're at the beach. Because we know when we're at the beach, we're going to have eye allergies. We're going to get sand kind of crusted around their eyes that we want to need to remove. We also see a lot of times dogs get kind of sweaty or kind of spit covered because they're running and playing and having fun. So making sure you can wipe off their eyes and remove that sand gently without it being like an actual hard, harsh paper towel is going to be really, really helpful, and without having to dump like a bucket of water in their eyes. So a towel, a little water wipe, moist towelette is going to be incredibly helpful. They come in a nice big pack, and that allows you just to clean off your dogs. It's also really good for cleaning off their paws. So you can wipe off the sand, you can wipe off the salt water, anything they picked up in the lobby of the hotel, to make sure that they are clean before going into your room, and you're not going to track things in, or it's not going to be uncomfortable, because sand in their feet, not going to be comfortable walking around in the hotel. So water wipes are an incredibly helpful version of something you could be bringing to make sure your dog is healthy and safe while you're at the beach. Now, the next thing is going to be your leashes and your harnesses. We have lots of videos on the best harnesses and leashes for your beach trip, so I will link those again in the playlist down below, but you want to make sure that you have a harness that is going to be able to go in the water if your dog is a water dog. If your dog is not a water dog, that is up to you, but I do recommend having something that's going to be comfortable while they're in the water, because the salt and the sand is going to get trapped in that harness, and you want to make sure it's very easy to clean off, it's easy to wash so that it doesn't smell later on, it's not going to dye colors all over their fur. So you just want to do a little bit of research on the harnesses that you're using, and you also want to be considering whether or not you want an escape-proof harness, because I have done really well without having an escape-proof harness for my dogs until I got to Lucy. And Lucy backed out of her harness last time we were at the beach because she was scared of the hotel lobby and didn't want to go in. So now I am currently on the hunt for the best escape-proof harness, and the second I find it and grab it, I will bring it to you here on the channel. So subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want that. And check the link, because if you're watching this after the fact, I might have already done this for you. So with that in mind, you want to make sure you have a good solid harness for going onto the beach. So the sand and the water, and that's different than maybe the harness you're going to be using on your dog while you're walking up and down the boardwalk and traveling around. So have one specific to being able to get dirty in the sand and in the water and easy for you to clean, so that it has a little bit of a longer life. We don't want to trash those after every beach visit. You want to make sure, of course, with your leashes that you have a nice standard leash for walking up and down the boardwalk, but you also have long leashes so your dogs can run on the beach, play in the water, but still be on leash and attached to you in some way. You also may want to consider a hands-free leash, but that depends on who you are and what you're physically capable of and what your dog is physically capable of. So I've got videos on that. You can check them out in the playlist down below. You also want to make sure that you're bringing things like towels and blankets, and not just for drying them off, but this is specifically for in the hotel. Most dog-friendly hotels are not going to allow you to let your dog sleep on the bed, which means they're going to be on the floor. And depending on what hotel you're staying in, that could mean gross, germy, disgusting carpets, or that could mean a slippery hardwood floor. I recently stayed in a hotel that was extremely dog friendly, but not at all dog accommodating. And so making sure that you have something for them to sleep on, to lay on while they're in the room, is probably going to work to your advantage and to their benefit. Now, we do have videos where we talk about the breakdown between dog-friendly and dog-accommodating hotels, so make sure you're checking those out as well to help you find the right fit for you and your dog, because just because a hotel is very dog-friendly, they're welcoming of dogs, does not mean they are accommodating of dogs. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to that and you're looking into that as you're doing your research. You also want to make sure that you are bringing your emergency kit to the beach with you. Now, we talk about this in lots of videos. Your emergency kit is going to be a bag that you bring with you, and typically you're going to want to take this out on the beach with you. If you are going swimming, okay, you don't have to bring it. But if you're just walking up and down the beach, I do advise and recommend that you're carrying like a backpack with you with some emergency things in it, in case you stumble across something that is a problem. People tend to not clean up after themselves on the beach. So you may find things that are toxic and harmful to your dogs. Your dog might swallow that or ingest that or interact with that in some way, and you're going to need to take care of your dog and make sure you get that out of their system. So having an emergency kit with things that are going to benefit them, and I'm not going to go too deep into that because we have videos on it. I'll link them for you again in the playlist down below, but you want to make sure you have the things to make sure your dog is safe and taken care of while you're out playing on the beach. Emergency kits are incredibly helpful. You also want to make sure, of course, you have a water bottle. Now, this is going to vary from dog to dog and person to person. You could get one of those pop-up bowls and just take a normal water bottle and give it to them and have them take it out of that pop-up water bowl. But there are also water bottles that I personally really like that are a little bit more shaped like a normal water bottle halfway, and then it has a little bit of a spoon at the end. It's got a little bit of a lid where you can keep the water in the bottom section, and then in the top section, you can tip it and pour the water into this little bowl that's attached to the water bottle. Let your dog drink out of that, and when they're done, you hold the button back down and the water goes back into the water bottle, which you can lock so that it doesn't leak. I personally really like those because it's condensed, it is part of the water bottle, and we can save that water. We don't have to go trying to dump things back into different bottles or dump it out. It saves that water so that we can use that a little bit later. So there's lots of options when it comes to that, but you got to make sure you're taking water for your dog because while you're at the beach, they're very likely going to be drinking salt water if they're playing in the water. And even if they're not, they are probably going to be running on the beach. They're going to be playing and having fun. If you're walking out at the ocean, you're going to be doing a lot of walking. They're going to get tired and they're going to need water. So you need to provide clean, safe, non-salt water for your dog to drink while you're out there to prevent any potential issues. Now, you also really want to make sure that as you're traveling to the beach, you are bringing travel grooming tools. I have done full videos on this, so this is going to be a quick overview, but you want travel grooming tools. And of course, before you go to the ocean, you should be grooming your dog, cleaning up their paws, trimming their nails. We have videos on that. Check out the playlist. Truly, the playlist is going to be your best friend when it comes to going to the beach. But you want to make sure you also bring some of those travel tools with you. And that can be as simple as your clippers for their nails, just in case they break them while you're there. You want to make sure you can take care of those. You might want a little travel-sized electric razor to clean up. If you've already done their paws, you're probably good with that, but you might have to get things out of maybe their floppy ears or maybe on their fur or their tail. So having something, even like a small pair of scissors, it doesn't even have to be dog scissors. You can get like little cuticle scissors for you and just keep them in your pack in case you have to cut something out of their fur. So having some combs that you're bringing with you don't have to have a full dog brush, but like a comb is going to be helpful to groom them while you're there. Is going to be very, very strategic for making sure you're not dealing with mats or with debris inside of their fur or something that gets stuck on their paw. You're going to be able to handle it as long as you have that travel emergency kit or the travel grooming kit. And we do videos on that, so you don't want to miss out on that one. We will link that again in the playlist down below. Just go through it. It's got lots of really valuable information. Now, there are other things that are going to be very valuable for you to bring to the beach with you to maintain a happy and safe environment for your pup while you're out playing or while you're staying in your hotel. Again, we talk a lot about how to travel to hotels and pick the best fit for you and your dog because different dogs will do well with different types of things. So check out the playlist down below and ask your questions on traveling to the beach. I have loved for many, 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 many years, like we're talking more than a decade, taking my dogs to the beach. So I have lots of tips and tricks and valuable help and information on how you can thrive best by bringing your pup to the beach, whatever your dog's comfort level is, whether they are a dog who loves the water and wants to play, or they're a dog who just wants to stay way up on the sand and watch from afar. We even talk about how to deal with having dogs who have both of those perspectives. So drop your questions down below. Follow along for more tips on how to travel with your dog and travel with your dog to the beach, as well as tips on how to document your dog's time at the beach through photos and videos, the harnesses and the leashes and the different resources that are going to be available to you to help level up for your pup to make sure you're giving them the best life possible and make it as easy and simple and effective for you as possible too. We'll see you in our upcoming daily videos.